Morning. Today's a beautiful day in Dumfries and Galloway. We've woken up at our overnight parking. You may just see the blue van there. Ours is just parked back of that. Just crossing this little bridge now. This walk today takes us in to visit the ruins of a house once lived in by a Scottish professor called Alexander Murray. So, Alexander Murray became a professor of Oriental languages at Edinburgh University in 1812. Apparently he's one of Dumfries and Galloway's most famous sons, so there's a bit of information. I sent my drone up yesterday when we parked up to just go over to where the ruins of his house were. So there is some drone footage of that, which quite impressive, lovely surroundings as well. The walk we're doing is a little circular loop called the Murray Loop, obviously named after Alexander Murray. It's a mile long and they roughly say it'll take about half an hour, which I'm assuming is at a steady pace just to go and see the ruins, which Leah's sort of heading on now. She walked up there yesterday while I was in the van editing a bit of footage. Yeah, Leah knows the way. I did chase her with a drone as well yesterday, so she was she was getting spied on a little bit. Just got our first view now of the ruins of Murray's house, which is just over there. We're going to go a bit closer now and see. Leah's off already, again leaving me. So this is the ruins of Alexander Murray's house. Pretty well intact, to be honest, considering it's sort of built in, I think he was born here in 1712, I believe it said. So, I mean, this side's not that well intact, but this bit over there with like the fireplaces and yeah, it's pretty good to be fair. New roof on it, another wall, job's a good one. Yeah, not a bad little viewpoint from your front garden. There's a little plaque down there which tells you a bit more information. I think I've said previously he was born in 1712, but I think he was actually born 1775 according to this plaque. Yeah, the views all around us are just pretty good. We're going to head in that direction later on because there's a big waterfall called the Grey Mare's Tail, and then just to the side of that there's a little goat park, I believe. I'm not quite sure what that involves, but there's a little goat park, so we're going to go have a little walk around there, see if we can see some goats. There's a little deer park about 10 minutes up the road as well, which we popped to last night, but we just timed it on feeding time so that the rangers had kind of fed them, but they was well out of the way, so we didn't really see them. One of them came up close to us thinking we had food, realised we didn't, growled at us and then ran off again, so make of that what you will. Oh, what?
Was that you?
Oh, what? Was that his way of saying fuck you for not bringing me any food?
I think so.
The route's taking a slight detour. I plotted a route on OS Maps this morning, picking up like forestry tracks. We've come to the house, tried to find these forestry tracks, and there's nothing here. So all we're going to do now is just take this little loop path back to the van, jump in the van, and we'll go and we'll just pick up these places in the individual car parks, which they all have. So we'll just sort of do like a pit stop tour, really. Recently, a lot of the little paths and crossings have got a bit more water in it. We've just arrived at the Galloway Forest Deer Park where we came last night to great disappointment, so hopefully we'll have a better time. The ranger's just been, I assume, to feed them, so hopefully they'll be knocking about maybe nearby. There's less deer than yesterday. Through the window. That opened yesterday. There we go. Told you I've not woke up this morning yet. So yeah, this is the little view with all the deer over there. They're all looking at us. This is red deer apparently. They're all kind of congregated over there, which I think is where they get fed. There's a fair few though, there must be a good probably 20, 25, something like that. These windows behind us are viewing points. They've got lower down ones for if you've got children, so you can get like a bit closer to the deer. You can't actually touch them, but they can come within a few feet, as you'll see in this clip from yesterday when he growled at me. Oh, what?
Was that you?
Oh, what? There's also like a little viewing point here for bird feeders. I think you can see a few chaffinches and mainly chaffinches down there, but yeah, there's a lot of little birds knocking around here. This is the deer range here where they've got all this area. Over here is like if you've got children, there's a little feeding point there. The only problem is getting them close enough to feed. They seem to be loitering a lot sort of near that little shed area, which a bit disappointing. It's nice to see them. We've got a couple of photos, but it's not like being up close with them. I mean, we had closer interactions with the stags at King's House, so it is a good experience. I'd say previously, if you have got children, these places are worth coming just for the excitement of these sort of kids' faces, really. Well, Leah's happy for the day. We have stumbled across a wild goat park. So this is pretty good. Obviously, Leah's just over here now, just tickling goats, as you do, just tickling goats.
I'm so happy.
Little information's in there saying wild goats do like fruit and vegetables. They do not like bread, sweets and crisps. So it's basically everything I like. There's hundreds of little carrots and stuff on the floor there, little goats everywhere. You have an itch?
I'll itch it for you. Don't you worry.
There you go. Lovely friendly goats here. What's this one up to? Hello? 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 Might be able to see behind me just all of these goats here. I estimate it's probably 30 to 40 around here. Leah's got a particular favourite down here, this little cute one. Smile, you on YouTube?
Oh, look at all your little scabbies on your face.
If you have got children like I have over there with Leah, what I'd recommend is if you are in the Galloway area, the deer park is a 2-3 minute drive up from where we are now, and then if you come to the goat park and then just up the road, I think about another minute or so away, there's the monument walk. You may just see the monument up there, and then there's a waterfall walk too. So if you've got kids within 15 minutes of driving, you can stop off at all of these points. Kids get to interact with the animals, feed the animals by hand, which is all sort of above board. Yeah, be a good experience for them. This is the Grey Mare's Tail waterfall, literally a 2-minute drive up from the goat park. So this is the Grey Mare's Tail waterfall. When we drove by yesterday, there was a bit more water in it, but it's still pretty impressive, to be honest. Not quite sure why, but Grey Mare's Tail seems to be quite a common name for waterfalls. There's definitely one in Kinloch-Leven, and I'm sure I've seen another 2 or 3 while we've been here called Grey Mare's Tail. Now all I can assume is, totally guessing, it's to do with horses. You'll just see behind me the car park we've come from. It's a 3-minute walk that way to the Grey Mare's Tail, and then just going uphill now we're heading up towards Murray's Monument, which is Another tribute to the guy who I mentioned earlier in the video. I can't remember his name. Alexander Murray, that's him. Not Andy Murray, as I called him earlier, I think. We're only about 100 metres maybe away from the car park, but the views have already started opening up pretty well. Lovely sort of browns and nice colours. Yeah, we've probably got another 100 metres to go and then we'll be at this Murray's Monument. That right there is the Murray Memorial Monument. That was a tongue twister. It's been stood there since 1835, so just under 200 years now. Quite impressive actually. I believe it's 28 metres tall, and that's all the information I have for you. Well, I can only do snippets, but it falls out my head quick. We're slowly making our way now to the Lake District, and we've come across a place on the map called Threave Castle. It's basically just a little castle on an island, as you'll see just there. Some wetlands. The river is actually quite high because we've had a lot of rain recently, but I'm going to try and send my drone up and get a video of that. I'm not sure if I'm allowed, but I will. There's little wildlife hards in this direction. You can go to Threave Castle that way. I'm not sure you can get to it though. I believe there's some maintenance work going on it. And I think by the looks of it, the path may be slightly flooded also.
It's the whitest, fluffiest arse you've ever seen.
Just in case you didn't hear that, that's Leah just saying that is the whitest, fluffiest arse you've ever seen. Just over there, we were just looking and we just noticed something moving in the field, and it's a couple of deer. We've seen plenty of deer, but it's always nice to see them. Do you think
this is a fluffy white bum. I stopped myself then.
a fluffy white bum of a deer?
Yeah, because there was quite red bums on the other ones, whereas these
That's
are
because there was red deer. These are fallow deer, I think.
No, all in it.
This is CAERLAVEROCK Castle, built in the 1300s. I don't know any more than that. Yeah, apparently it's a really impressive old building. There's a big siege, what apparently is quite famous, so I'll learn about that and I'll give you some info. This has to be one of the very first castles I've ever been in, which actually has a moat around it. Pretty good, really well worth the £6 we've paid so far. I've only been here a few minutes, but so far it's worth value for money.